Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today's subject is the American dream. I have with me a man of strength and courage. This man stayed strong for his family during tough times, filled with fear and new surroundings. With me today is a man who had a dream, Walter Younger.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
We're happy to have you with us. So, Walter, we've heard some of your story in the media about moving from a small apartment to a 3-bedroom house in, well, a white neighborhood. But we have you here today to give us some more detail and tell us about how you and your family had many dreams and how they were accomplished or changed. How has your family been since the big move?
Well, so far everything with the family has been pretty smooth. I feel as if the new environment has given our whole family a chance to have a better relationship and has given us a chance to even be able to think about all the things we ever wanted to do.
That's an amazing step. Does everyone in your family feel the same way about the new house and the changes?
Well, of course, everyone in the family was thrilled to get a new house. It changed a lot. It changed a lot of the expectations everyone had, and I can tell you, no one objected to the idea. But we all had our fears and concerns for the type of neighborhood we were moving into. At the time, when people like us move into white neighborhoods, obviously not all the current residents were thrilled.
So in the beginning, you knew what could happen and all the possible outcomes of making the choice to move. Did you have any second thoughts about going?
Well, once we heard about the bombings that happened to colored people who move into white neighborhoods, any normal person would have feared that it could happen to them. But then you think about all the struggle you went through, and you say to yourself that you're not going to let them ruin your dream to move up in this world or even just to live through it.
That's very brave of all of you. Were there any other problems going into that?
Well, the financial situation with my family has been on and on since forever.
Financial situation? Could you explain?
The thing is with money is that my family has never had it. My mama and my wife have been working in other people's houses and taking care of other people's children, while I would drive around people as a chauffeur all day. My father was also a working man. His dream was to buy a house with my mama, and his whole life was spent working and making money until he died one day from working way too hard.
That's too bad. Your father sounds like a great man.
He was a great man. My father is the only person I had ever had the strength to go on after my entire family's journey. When my father worked his whole life, it wasn't for nothing. When he died, he left behind an insurance check for $10,000.
$10. Wow, that was a lot of money. We all assume you used some of it on that house of yours. What did you do with the rest?
The rest of that money is another story. My family always knew that check belonged to my mother. Back then, I was in a bad place. I wanted to make a man of myself and be able to tell my son someday that he could become something. That was my dream. But when my mother trusted me with that money to take to the bank, I took that money and put it all straight into an investment. I wanted to bring my family up in the world, and I went and lost all the money we had. Now I admit, not all that money was meant for me.
Who was the rest of that money for, Walter?
That money was also for my sister Benny's dream. Her dream was to go to school to become a doctor and finally be able to help other people. And I went and lost every chance with her to do that.
That must have been rough. When you lost all of that money, did it make you reconsider your ability to afford to move?
Yes, we all questioned whether we were even meant to move there, but before I had lost the money my mother trusted me with, a man from the white neighborhood, Claiborne Park, came to visit us. This man came to tell us that everyone that lived there would rather pay us not to move there than to live with colored neighbors. They were giving us they were going to pay us what we paid for the house and more. So yes, in the moment I had lost all the money that belonged to my family, I considered selling out. I considered selling our family back into poverty. I thought that we would be better off with the money than have the dream we always wanted, which was the house.
It sounds like a really tough decision you had to make. What made you decide to move into that house anyway? You needed the money, and they were going to give it to you.
I didn't take that money because the house is what my family needed. My family was falling apart until we got that money. My father worked his whole entire life for that house and we finally got it. So, angry neighbors and all, we moved into that house.
It's truly inspiring. I think that we can all say that you inspire us to follow all of our dreams and to stick to ourselves no matter what. It was great having you on the show. I hope to see you again soon.
Thanks so much for letting me share my story. I was happy to be here.